And the first amongst them is Jagannath Das Babaji disappearance day. Jagannath Das Babaji, as all of us know, lived in this world for 140 years, 44 years. Okay. He took Diksha from Madhusudan Maharaj, and he used to live in Surya Kund in Vrindavan. Brother Bhaktivinoda Thakur received all the instructions from Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. And he used to stay 6 months in Navadvip and 6 months in Vrindavan. They are far off places, but still every time after 6 months, he used to travel from Navadvip to Vrindavan. Again, after 6 months, he used to come back. Okay. And therefore, he was called as Sarvabhaum, Bhakti Sarvabhaum. That is the greatest of all Vaishnavas. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur he called him. At when his age was 125, his body had become like a semicircle, a full curve like this, and his uh, servant Bihari used to carry him in a basket. But whenever there used to be kirtan, he used to jump out of the basket and start dancing. So, and his method was that whole night he used to keep on chanting, and then after finishing his chanting in the morning, he used to offer 1108 dandavats to the deities. He was very strict in his diet. The Chaturmas for first month he used to eat only 4 bananas in the evening, whole day. Second month he used to eat only guavas. Yeah, we all cannot think of also so much of austerities. Third month only whey, means on chas, whatever appears now. Okay. And fourth month only boiled banana flowers without salt. And he begged rotis not from all the homes, but he begged rotis from a sweeper in Vrindavan. So now sweeper that time was considered as Shudra. You know, sweeper, latrine cleaner, used to take beg roti from that sweeper. एकदम झिरो केलं तर त्यात नाही होत. अच्छा ठीक आहे ठीक आहे ठीक आहे असू दे असू दे इट्स ओके अँड इट्स ओके. So then people used to tell him, Ki, Maharaj, it looks so bad that, you are such a Vaishnav and you are going and begging, rotis from a sweeper. That's right, that's fine. So, that time he used to say that Brahma desires to be a particle of dust in Vraja. And this fellow, why I chose to beg from a sweeper, because he keeps on sweeping, breathing the dust, rolling in the dust, bathing in the dust more than anybody else. Okay. So that's what he used to say. Ki, I therefore honor him because he's completely covered by the dust of Vrinda. And when he used to have prasad in Navadvip, some puppies, dogs used to come to eat from his plate. And he never stopped them. Now his servant one day shooed them away, Bihari. So then he said, go and get them, otherwise I'll not eat. So Bihari was not sure why you are, so much. Dogs are eating from any one of us. See, getting dog is one thing. Feeding dog is one thing, but allowing dog to eat from your own plate. But his mood was that they are dhamvasis. How much he used to honor them. He used to say that they are residents of the holy dham, so they are not ordinary living entities. So it's one lesson for us that how we should treat the dhamvasis if our acharyas are treating them like this. And all of us know that he was the one who Bhaktivinoda Thakur took. So that everybody knows, but other things I just wanted to highlight. And it is said that, he transferred all the power of his bhajan to the heart of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So some of his instructions which he gave, that you must, to the disciples, to avoid women, men who associate, means lusty things, basically. What he was man who is anyways associates with a man who associates with woman. By woman, he is mentioning that associating in a lusty way. To realize the supreme goal of life, you must repeat Harinam regularly and steadfastly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we actually have tips for chanting, but this is one of the tips itself here. That to realize the supreme goal of life, we must repeat the Harinam regularly and steadfastly. Steadiness is so important that it should be maintained even at the cost of one's life. Never forget Gaura. That's what he said. He said he is the current incarnation. So for him, he says Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda is the most important mantra. We should never skip that mantra before starting or chanting. Therefore, you must have seen that many devotees, chanting before the chanting two आपण एकदाच म्हणतो. I have seen devotees who chant 3 times, 4 times, some chant 5 times. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, because huh? uh, 5 times. Sudama Prabhu, I have seen. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I said, go ahead. 10 times. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So that has come from Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Okay, he said that Gaura is interested in distribution of mercy. And he was very clear. Krishna is avatar of Dwapar Yuga. Of course, we have to take it, understand his mood, he said. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is for Kali Yuga. So he said, you should chant the name and glories of the avatar whose age we live. So basically, he used to keep on chanting Jai Satchinandana Gaurani. The lesson what we should take from this is that we all also need to develop that kind of connect with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have tendency to just celebrate Gaur Purnima, Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. But other days also, every day, we all call out for Krishna, Radharani's mercy. But that same intensity, we, don't call out for Lord Chaitanya. Even we try to remember Krishna also, but we don't try to remember Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda. Actually, because of them, we are here. So, what I mean to say is that through this, we can just seek the essence, that learn to chant Hare Krishna like the way he used to chant, and learn to also connect with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu now that Gaur Purnima is coming. The same day, on 18th, is Rasikacharya Prabhu's uh, disappearance day. He was disciple of Shyamanand Prabhu, and he actually gave initiation to Muslims. And all of us know this mad elephant had attacked, and just by chanting Gauranga, Gauranga, Krishna, Krishna, he made him silent. One thing which I didn't know, or yet till now, is when he left the world, he entered the Kirchur Gopinath Day. I have been to that multiple times, but I never knew that Rasikanand Prabhu had entered that day. Samvit, दरवाजा बंद करें. तो साउंड कमी कर दो. अरे तुझे है तो. Now going ahead with the tip for chanting. So this is what one devotee had written that when I sit for to chant, my mind wanders. Everything comes in my mind. I know that chanting is the most potent form of devotional service. तुमचा volume फक्त कमी करा. And topmost primary activity, actually it is the primary activity of our devotional life. You know, but बाकी समय, when I am engaged in preaching, when I am engaged in doing arti, decoration, some amount of concentration is there. See, when we are dressing the deities, worshipping, but while chanting, mind freaks out. See, because there is some activity, na? When I'm preaching, there is activity. When I'm doing deity worship, dressing the deity, there is activity. Here, the activity is only this. And that is one reason that then mind says, "Arey, with this you can do many things." So then, once one devotee asked Prabhupada that, how to control the wandering mind. And Prabhupada just gave us such a nice reply. He said, what is controlling the mind? You have to just chant and hear. That's all. Just chant with your tongue and hear the sound. Where is the question of mind? The, the reason I had taken this particular conversation was that our mind actually keeps on swinging, creates anxiety, uh, creates fear, creates emergency that you have to do this right now. Sometimes the mind creates insecurity, mind creates faithlessness that whether this is working, you are chanting for so many years, but everything is, you are like that only. So, I, this particular line of Prabhupada where he says chant and hear, that's all. So, I consider this as chanting like what Valmiki did. So he just chanted and heard, chanted. So here we have an example. He was not looking at some photos. He was not looking at deities. He was not, on his mobile, he had not put a PowerPoint where deities photos are moving around. Just chanted and heard, and it worked. So, and he didn't think about anything else. He didn't think about Ram, Sita, or anything. So sometimes we should do this thoughtless chanting where we are just chanting and hearing. Especially the days when mind goes wild, mind creates, hopelessness. कि अभी क्या आगे क्या होगा? Forget it. Let me just chant and hear. Apply it for one round, it will work, and then continue. Krishna is the Paramatma when he sees, when he is the benefactor of a truthful devotee, he cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages. Okay, so that this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.17 Shrunvata Swakata Krishna. So where in the Bhagavatam it is written that whose heart is cleansed, who has developed a urge to hear the messages. So somehow we should try that we develop a urge to hear the message of Krishna. So we all need to develop that taste for hearing about Krishna. And I have, when I was when I was staying here at KM, I didn't have any travel. So, I used to go chant, come back. So this transfer from there came as a blessing because 1 hour of travel was added in my life. So now what I did is I hear that time. So what to do now? Bike chalana hai, there is traffic. So those times where we are sitting in the train, suppose you have to travel and your chanting is already done. So that time we should hear. You know, if you are too tired, then take rest. But my advice is such. This is a golden opportunity that you are helpless now. You don't have anything to do, and this device, mobile, which people all curse, that this is horrible. People waste so much time. This can be converted into something which can take us back to Godhead. So what I do now, I have the reason I have two mobiles is one reason I have dedicated one mobile I have dedicated for hearing purpose. तो इसमें कुछ नहीं करता हूँ मैं ये मेरा रेगुलर यूज का है और इस पे ना ऑलमोस्ट 40 GB lectures I have downloaded and I put it on airplane mode and I just put it in my helmet many times and I keep on hearing. So you know because in the Bhagavatam, it is said that whose desires will be cleansed, who has developed a urge to hear. Even though I may not have urge to hear, but at least I try to act in that way. So Prabhupada says that in the purport that whenever therefore offenseless hearing and glorification of God is undertaken, it is to be understood that Lord Krishna is present in the transcendental sound. Again, the word the most important, all the chanting we made here, tips for chanting, everything. Most important is offenseless hearing. In case of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, he was offenseless towards the animals in the dham. He used to allow him to eat from his plate. So, how much we should be careful while dealing with any devotee? So, while dealing with any devotee, when we are dealing in a very offenseless way, only then people keep on saying, "Na Kyari, so many years I'm doing, but I'm not getting taste," because we are committing offense. Lord is more anxious to take us back home, back to God. By the grace of God, such devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself in state of disturbance, and gradually all disturbing elements are eliminated from his mind. Such a hope-giving thing, because we currently have disturbances, and we are waiting for that day when these elements will be gone. Srila Prabhupada had mercifully given the easiest and most powerful sublime method of attaining love of Godhead. Okay. Praying to Krishna is good way of overcoming distraction. Please, Krishna, please. I don't chant very well. I can't concentrate today. My deviant mind refuses to follow my directions. Please help me. Please allow me to taste the full nectar of the name. See, this line, please allow me to taste the full nectar of the name, is very, very important prayer, because that is never our target. Our target is to complete our rounds. Our target is to finish 16, keep the bit back. Here, this devotee, although he may be disturbed, but at least this aspiration should be there that I want to taste the full nectar of the name one day. Without your mercy, there is no hope for at all for a fool like me. Okay. So these are some of the tips for chanting which we can implement now on from tomorrow onwards. Going to the Vaishnav song. This is because Gaur Purnima is coming now on 3rd of March. So we'll discuss about Lochandas Thakur's Gaur Nityananda Daya. Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana Nitai Gaur Chandra Sabha Avatar Sar Shiroma Kevala Ananda. Okay. So we will understand the meaning and then we will sing. So he says Parama Karuma Pahudui Jana means these two people, two incarnations. or Nitai Gaurchand. Sabha Avatar Sara Shiromani. They are the essence of all the avatars. Sabha Avatar Sara Shiromani. Essence of all the avatars. And Kevala Anandagan. The process they have given is Kevala Anandagan. भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वास करी keep faith, keep firm conviction and faith. सुदृढ़ विश्वास करी विषय छाड़िया सेर समाज. So here, you know, one has to give up engagement in sense gratification. Say रस्ते माझे. We always say, no, I am not getting the taste. Because he said, because हम लोग ना वो विषय को पकड़ के बैठे. We are trying to, you know, find enjoyment in things other than Krishna. So we are not able to give up this engagement. So here he has given the formula. He told Ananda Kanda, but how to reach that? He says, विषय छाड़े. हम लोग को रिस्की लगता है कि ये छोड़ेंगे तो फिर और क्या बचेगा मेरे लाइफ में. विषय छाड़िया सेर से माजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि. So we are doing मुखे बोलो हरि हरि, but that विषय छाड़िया is not happening. Then he says, देखो अरे भाई त्रिभुवन नाय एमोने दयालता. He says, in these all three worlds, there is no दयालता like. पशु पक्षी झुरे पाषाण विदरे सुनी जा रहे. He said that even birds and beasts cry and stones melt, hearing so much he is merciful. Then he says, samsare majia. Now that is our problem. Samsare majia rohilo padiya. Actually, when Lochandas says this, Thakur says this, it is for us. He says, samsare majia, the translation Srila Prabhupada has done is, I am entrapped by sense gratification. Rohilo padiya, se pade nahilo as, and therefore I have no attraction to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Apana karamo bhunjaye shamano kahe lochana. And that is one reason I am suffering, he says. And therefore, the Yamraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted to this moment. See, we come to this moment initially under circumstances. Somebody introduces us, we follow, we like some things, we don't like something. Then we become part of it. Then we get initiated. Once we get initiated, we are committed. So many times it happens that we are just continuing. We are just continuing now with Diksha ho gaya ye. So here he says that, you know, by not allowing me to be attracted by this moment. Actually, this moment has saved us. That's how we are sitting here. We are not, you know, indulging this materialistic people. You see how much they indulge in meat eating and alcoholism. Everything is actually bad for the body also. You know, we are living a very sublime life. That is thanks to this moment. But he says, I'm not attracted to this moment because I'm entrapped in sense gratification. So we'll sing this bhajan, Rasrani. करताल घे रे तिथं ड्रॉवर मध्येच. हाँ वो येलो कलर जिसको आपने हाथ लगाया ना पाउच, हाँ उसमें है, उसमें हो सकता. मला तर येतं.
बाजो बाजो बाई चैतन्यानी ताई दुर्गा विश्वास पूरी विश्वाचारी विश्वाचार्या से आसे जिया मुख बोलो हरि हरि विद्याचार्या देखो विद्वान मना दोया यंदा संसारे न जिया बढ़िया करे नहीं आशा अपना परामा अपना परामा समाना पूर्ण लोचन दासा करुणा वेदनांताई गोरखंदा Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. So now we are on the second last component. Perfect question, perfect answer. Actually, these are the books, we have read and we have grown, reading this. So therefore, I make it a point that we revisit these books again. So this is conversation between Bob and Srila Prabhupada. So he says, I received your letter 1 week ago. And Prabhupada said, yeah, you are a very intelligent boy. You have to understand that people are wasting so much energy for sense gratification. They are not aware of what is going to happen in next life. Now, when Prabhupada is saying that, we also should also think that this life is there. What about next life? There is next life, but foolish people are ignorant. This life is preparation for the next life. You know, they don't know. Modern education, its university are in complete darkness about this simple knowledge. We are changing bodies every moment. That's a medical fact. After leaving this body, we'll accept another body. But how are we going to accept that body? What kind of body? This can also be known. For example, if somebody is being educated, one can understand that if when he passes examination, he's going to become an engineer, medical practitioner. Similarly, in this life, you can prepare yourself for something in the next life. So his wife asked, can we decide what we want in the next life? Prabhupada said, yes, you can decide. You can decide. We have decided that in next life we are going to Krishna. मैंने मैंने उसको highlight करके रखा when I was reading that this is something take home we should take for ours this today's meeting. That Prabhupada is saying we have decided that in next life we are going to. And if we are really serious about this, then we need to stop sense gratification, we need to stop offenses. So, could I have been Krishna conscious in last life? If I was Krishna devotee and I have come back here. Prabhupada said it doesn't matter. But you can become a Krishna devotee now. Take advantage of our Krishna consciousness movement. When one is perfectly Krishna conscious, he does not come back. Sometimes devotees they feel that I should have joined ISKCON before. So many years have passed. I should have heard so many shlokas. I should have done this and I should have done that. Here is the answer by Prabhupada. Doesn't matter. You can become a Krishna devotee now. Take advantage of our Krishna consciousness. Very important. When one is perfectly Krishna conscious, he does not come back. So, I have started, revival of Sunday feast. We had counselors meeting, we had churning in the ACM, how to revive the Sunday feast again. Because previously Sunday feast was the, program where Maharaj used to give lecture and there used to be kirtan and prasad or even Sunday Bhagavatam. But somehow it's not happening. Then we combine this two, we are trying. The current pattern is so nice actually. कि 11 बजे 12 बजे प्रसाद खाओ घर पे जाके सो जाओ. Previous pattern was very strenuous. Let me tell you, हम लोग 5 बजे घर पे से निकलते थे. We used to go chant के बाद गुरु पूजा के बाद ब्रह्म संहिता भागवतम के बाद प्रसाद. Then 12:30 again गौर आरती. Sunday feast 3:30 4. By the time we used to reach home, everything used to be penning. Current pattern we should actually take. जो प्रभुपाद बोल रहे हैं ना, take the full advantage. तो मैंने संबित को डाला है. हरे कृष्णा आइए सर. सो मैंने संबित को जो डाला है संडे फीस्ट में. सो दिस इज न्यू फैमिली हुआ ज्वाइन. उसका क्या हो गया आपका मैच का क्या? सनी प्रभु ना और माता जी स्वाति ये Sunny. So let us welcome Sunny Prabhu, Swati Mataji and Sandvi to our Counselee group by loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Online devotees भी Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you. So he says it doesn't matter. You have to become a devotee now. Take full advantage. मैंने भी ना संबित को संडे फन स्कूल में डाला है ना. नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग टू मेनी थिंग्स फ्रॉम हिम. उससे क्या, उस बहाने मैं जाता हूँ, उसको 10 बजे वहां पे छोड़ता हूँ. देन आई गो एंड सिट इन द टेम्पल हॉल. टुडे संकीर्तन प्रभु गेव लेक्चर. सो वी शुड ऐसे मोटिवेट नहीं हो रहे तो ऐसे ऐसे कैसे कैसे भी करके खुद को ये न के न प्रकार है ना, वी शुड मोटिवेट आवर सेल्फ एंड रीच. Once in a while, we should sit and listen to the class. Very important. And all of us in our group are in that IDT group, the spellings aate hain. So I also make it a point that every day's Bhagavatam. Now, this is one thing I do. Every day's Bhagavatam I try to listen because आता है इतना फैसिलिटी है. पहले वो नहीं था फैसिलिटी. पहले जब हम 90s में डिवोटीज बने थे तो एक ही ऑप्शन रहता था कि मंदिर में जाओ और सुनो. खाली महाराज के लेक्चर्स रिकॉर्ड होते थे, वो भी कैसेट में मिलते थे. बाकी लोगों के अगर मिस हो गए तो मिस हो गए. किस किस ने क्या क्या लेक्चर्स दिए कुछ उसका रिकॉर्ड ही नहीं. तो अभी इतना फैसिलिटी है, हम सुन सकते हैं. मैं तो और एक स्टेप करता हूँ. मैं वो लेक्चर सुनता हूँ, फिर उसमें से मुझे क्या पॉइंट्स अच्छे लगे वो जिसने स्पीकर को भेजता हूँ. मेरे पास सबके नंबर है तो आई टेक एडवांटेज होता है. एंड दे ऑल्सो फील नाइस कि कोई सुन रहा है. वो फिर वो इस्कॉन डिजायट्री ने देखा कि ये सबसे कंसिस्टेंट अटेंडी है तो वो लेक्चर्स के टाइटल्स जो है ना वो मैं ही देता हूँ. फिर वो मुझे बोलते हैं प्रभु जी इसका आज का जो भागवतम था उसको टाइटल क्या देना चाहिए. मेनी टाइम्स द स्पीकर्स गिव, दे डोंट गिव. अभी महाराज का लेक्चर था दो संडेज पहले. तो फिर वो इस्कॉन डिजायट्री ने भेजा मेरे पास कि प्रभु जी ये लेक्चर, उसका अभी टाइटल दिया है देखो, सर्विस बिफोर द सेल्फ. Maharaj was giving reference of Rotary Club. He said I was called lecture. तो फिर मैंने उनको सजेस्ट किया कि वो दे दो सर्विस बिफोर, बिकॉज महाराज आल्सो लाइक्स टाइटल्स बाय विच पीपल गेट अट्रैक्टेड टू द लेक्चर. बिकॉज इंटरनेट पे वो लेक्चर रहेगा ना तो. So human intelligence can decide for the future, animal cannot. We have the discriminatory power. If I do this, I'll be benefited. If I do that, I'll not be benefited. This power is there in the human life. Now, the next question, probably we are discussing from perfect question, perfect answer. We are towards the end of the meeting. We normally do tips for chanting, then we do a bhajan, then we do Prabhupada book reading and Prabhupada Leelamrita. That's our patterns. So now we are on the second last component. We are doing book reading of perfect question, perfect. So his wife, Bob's wife, Barbara, she asked that, have you ever seen Krishna? Prabhupada says, yes. You have. Prabhupada says, daily, at every moment. So this is the Acharya who has, you know, whose books we are reading. It's the clear-cut conversation which is there in the perfect question. Perfect. Have you seen Krishna? Yes, you have. Daily, at every moment. आपल्याकडे कोणाकडे धाडस आहे का असं बोलायचं? Can any one of us say this? Then he says, because you have materialized, you cannot see the spiritual form. Therefore, Krishna kindly appears to be in the material body so that you can see him. But because he has kindly made himself just fit for your seeing, that does not mean that he has material body. Okay. Suppose the president of US comes to your house, does not mean that his position and your position is same. It is his kindness. Out of love, he may come to your house. That does not mean that he's on the same level. So you cannot see Krishna, therefore he appears in the form of painting, in the form of stone, in the form of wood. And Krishna is not different from these paintings and wood because everything is Krishna. So we should not see Krishna to be different, separate from the deities, from the paintings. And coming to the last component, Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit reading. This is in New Jagannath Puri, Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit Volume 1, Chapter 24. So, here what happens is, Mukund Goswami, before he took sannyas, this is the conversation. He said, one day out of curiosity, I went to witness Swami's cooking class. I came at the door and stood at the doorway in kitchen. Women were learning how to cook from Swamiji, and Swamiji asked me, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, I came just to see my wife." Swamiji said, "Are you going back to Godhead or back to wife?" So everyone was amused, and I realized I wasn't welcome there because Mataji Prabhupada was teaching to the Matajis, and he just went there unnecessarily. Incident made me reflect on Swamiji's seriousness. You know, for one thing, I realized that I should not be so attached to my wife, and secondly, I learned that his relationship with women and that he was teaching them was actually sacred and not like sometimes frivolous association. She was doing something, a sacred activity, teaching them cooking for Krishna. और वो इधर ऐसे और उधर जाके प्रभुपाद उसको पूछते इधर क्या है मैं मेरे बेबी को देखने को आया. So his level of so one day on Ekadashi Leelavati arrived late in Swami's apartment thinking that there would not be too much cooking on a fast day. Ekadashi tha, so she thought there is no cooking. But when she entered the kitchen, she found Swamiji was busy cooking. He was heating something uh, with and vigorously stirring, scraping the bottom of the pan. Oh, he said, I was wondering where is that girl? Leelavati was too shy why Swamiji was doing. She simply, busied herself while cutting vegetable and says, today is fast day, Ekadashi. She said, uh, as if chiding Swamiji for cooking. So Srila Prabhupada says, you have to understand, he replied. In Krishna consciousness, a fast day means a feast day. We are offering this to Krishna. So, these devotees of disciples initial years, through them, Prabhupada has given so many lessons. So they thought that Ekadashi, so we don't have to eat, we have to eat only Shabudana Varai, that's all. And she goes and she sees Prabhupada vigorously, she uses the word. She was busy cooking, vigorously staring. What is it? I'm cooking for Krishna. So that whole mood, whenever we are cooking in our house, we should be cooking for Krishna. So on Ekadashi, Ekadashi is for us. For Krishna, there is no Ekadashi. So Prabhupada on that Ekadashi, and he was saying, oh, I thought I was wondering where is that girl who comes to help. Okay. So that is how the mood of Prabhupada was to always remain Krishna conscious. So we today started from Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj learning how his mood was. That even in his plate, dogs used to eat. Still, he used to allow them because they used to be dhamvasis. And his seriousness about chanting. Then we learned about Rasikanand Prabhu. And then we talked about tips for chanting. And in those tips for chanting, today we read the shloka from the Srimad Bhagavatam where Krishna is more anxious to take us back to God. Then we sung the Vaishnav Bhajan, Parama Karuna Pahutujan, and in that the last component we concentrated Samsare Majia because we are entrapped in sense gratification. That is one reason we are not getting the taste. And then Prabhupada book reading from perfect question, perfect answer, and lastly Prabhupada Leelamrit where Prabhupada was telling us how sacred is the activity of cooking for Krishna. So whenever we are doing anything, cooking for Krishna, buying vegetables, the whole mood should be that I am doing it for Krishna. So when I am getting vegetables, for the whole mood should be I am getting these vegetables for Krishna. The Prabhus they go for vegetables, right? Matajis they do the cooking. So that the whole mood should be that समटाइम्स वी आर इन अ मूड कि आज बच्चों को ये खिलाते हैं वो खिलाते हैं, फिर अभी बनाया है तो भगवान को ऑफर करते हैं। वो तो है ही, दैट इज वेरी बेस लाइन। Our whole mood should be that we should be. Thank you. Hari Bol. मैं ना
Thank
थोड़ा सा थैंक यू those who are online, thank you. Hare Krishna, Ananta Mataji, Hari Bol, how are you?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm very good. How are you, Prabhuji?
You like today's meeting
Yes,
message?
yes.
Thank
Fantastic,
you,
Prabhuji. It's very
thank
nice,
you so
Prabhuji.
much for joining. कैसा
Yes.
चल रहा है आपका chanting?
Yes, very nice, Prabhuji. Yes.
Chanting is going on.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Today only, like in one of our class, like I just read in Bhagavatam, very much similar purport about Prabhupada, where he says that chanting it's simply practice. Sometimes it's like not no, we're not able to remember Krishna so much often. So then he
हाँ,
says that no, it won't come automatically. You have to do it. So it's simply practice. So
yeah,
it was very
yeah,
nice, Prabhuji. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
प्रैक्टिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। बाकी सब लोग प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, हम लोग ही प्रैक्टिस नहीं करते। क्रिकेटर्स प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, फुटबॉलर्स प्रैक्टिस करते हैं।
Yes.
हम लोग ग्राइंडेड पकड़ते हैं हमारे चैंटिंग को। तो बाकी जगह ये लोग हमसे ज्यादा एफर्ट करते हैं, बराबर है
Yes.
ना प्रभु?
Exactly.
Those who are in cricket, they put more effort than in their cricket practice
Yes.
than the amount of effort we put in chanting.
Absolutely.
अच्युत निमाय, बरोबर ना? और उनको उसमें से कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला। दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू गेट लव ऑफ गॉडेड फ्रॉम देम, बट फ्रॉम द प्रैक्टिस दे आर डूइंग। समटाइम्स दे गेट नेम, समटाइम्स दे गेट स्टोन्स। सो वी शुड ऑल्सो प्रैक्टिस, लाइक टेक इंस्पिरेशन फ्रॉम देम। कैसे वो सुबह उठते हैं, जल्दी जाते हैं, भागते हैं, उनका डाइट कंट्रोल रखते हैं, एवरीथिंग व्हाट दे डू। सो
Yeah.
थैंक यू।
Yes.
अनिता माता जी, हरि बोल। नंदलाल फैमिली, अनिता माता जी, हरि बोल। कैसे हैं आप? अनम्यूट तो करो। कैसे, हाउ आर यू डूइंग, हाउ आर यू डूइंग?
जी जी
वी आर गुड।
जी
चैंटिंग चल रहा है बराबर से? हाँ, हरि।
जी जी
और नंदलाल प्रो, क्या हो गया क्या आपका बरसाने का? बरसाना आप पीडियाट्रिक्स में
यस
जाने
यस
वाले
गुरुजी।
थे, इट्स हैपनिंग?
यस यस गुरुजी, मार्च से
अभी
है
आई
वो।
ओके, आई कैम में गए थे अभी आप?
नहीं नहीं गुरुजी।
अभी केरला में है प्रभु जी हम। प्रभु जी बैक एक इश्यू है तो वो आयुर्वेदिक ट्रीटमेंट के लिए।
ओ, टेक केयर, टेक केयर। कितने दिन है आप वहाँ पे? हाउ मेनी डेज? ठीक है, ठीक है, टेक केयर, टेक केयर, चलेगा। अंकिता माता जी, हरि बोल।
हरी बोल प्रभु जी।
कैसे आप आए नहीं? आपको मिस कर रहे हैं हम लोग इधर।
प्रभु जी इधर
मैं
नेटवर्क
अभी
इशू
गांव में हूँ।
गांव में है?
गांव
ओके,
में हूँ अभी। आज आज कल निकले के बॉम्बे के लिए हम लोग।
ओके, ओके। और नेहा भी उधर ही है आपके साथ?
हाँ नहीं नहीं, आज ससुराल में है। मैं दूसरे घर पे वैसा। हाँ, सेम
अच्छा,
लोकेशन है ससुराल में।
अच्छा, बॉम्बे आ रहे हैं ना दोनों लेकिन?
नहीं नहीं, मैं अभी नहीं आऊंगी। नहीं।
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है बेटा, ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है। Wherever you are, you remain connected to Krishna. Chant, हाँ?
यस यस।
सुबह
यस
उठ
यस
के
प्रभु जी।
चैंटिंग करो। स्पेशली ये अ, जब हम when we are at places where there is less association, first thing we should do is get up in the morning and complete our chanting. Okay? Hmm?
यस
Complete the
यस प्रभु जी।
chanting. हाँ, हाँ, चलेगा, चलेगा। माता जी, हे जराशी फोल्ड करून ठा ना, बस बस बस। सो फिनिश द चैंटिंग इन द मॉर्निंग, और रखो ही मत बाद में के लिए। सी कैसा है ना, हम लोग ऐसे जगह पे शाम को अगर चैंटिंग करते हैं तो लोग ऑब्जेक्शन लेते हैं, दोपहर को चैंटिंग करते हैं लोग, मुझे क्या कर रहे हैं? तो इसके लिए सुबह उठने का, चैंटिंग करने का, और दोपहर को सो जाने का। सोने पे लोगों को ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं रहता है। हम 2 घंटा सोते हैं तो कोई ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं करता है, बट 2 घंटा चैंटिंग करेंगे बीट बैग लेंगे तो लोग ऑब्जेक्शन देते हैं। तो मेरा ये प्रिंसिपल रहता है, सुबह उठो चैंटिंग करो, उनको समझना भी नहीं चाहिए, और फिर बोलो बाद में कि मेरा नींद नहीं हुआ, खाना खा के सो जाओ, ये करो। यू कैन ऑलवेज टेक रेस्ट, पीपल डोंट माइंड यू टेकिंग रेस्ट ऑल्सो। हाँ, संकल्प प्रभु हरि बोल।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडोत प्रणाम। कैसा चल रहा है आपका?
चल रहा है प्रभु जी। बीच में अभी द्वारका यात्रा में गए थे। नंदलाल प्रभु की यात्रा हुई थी छोटी सी, केईएम बेस की, मतलब केईएम
अच्छा।
डिवोटीज की। तो उसमें गए थे,
हाँ हाँ।
अभी 5 6 दिन के लिए उसी से आए हैं।
अच्छा, द्वारका में कैसा है अभी? गर्म था या ठंडा था?
गर्म था
या
प्रभु,
ओके
गर्म
था?
था। हमारे लिए तो गर्म ही था, जयपुर के हिसाब से तो बहुत गर्म था।
ओके।
सो इट वाज नाइस।